Hello guys, I'm Willa here from Coding for Youth. It's quite an exciting time. I try to make sure I create one video per day. This channel is quite far backward in terms of what we are supposed to be doing by now, and what we are supposed to be learning. So far we have been learning Python, and this is a crash course starting from the very scratch. Um, uh, Teaching you step after taking a step at taking a step at a time. You might not really see the way you're expecting it, but as we progress you see we begin to advance. This is a very rudiment of Python. Okay, so we started with we've been on strings so far in the 2-3 videos ago, and we're going to be rounding up strings, all about strings in this video. Okay, so but before we continue, I'd like you guys to encourage you guys to subscribe. Like this channel is actually for encouraging people to learn how to code. Do a little bit of coding every day, and utilize all the resources on out there online. And before you know, you're already a master in this profession. Okay, so it may seem a bit difficult at the beginning, but of course that's how everything in life is, right? It's the beginning is always kind of difficult, but with consistency, when you consolidate your consistency with your commitments, definitely you get a better result. So I want to encourage you to learn how to do a little bit of coding every day. Learn, syntax, and sometimes you might not really need to reinvent the wheel. Just copy some other, from some other people, and then before you know, you're already a master. Okay, so please do that every day, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, just to encourage me, and also like the video and leave your comment at the comment section. Okay, I hope to do a little bit of talk a little bit about the WordPress ecosystem very soon. So I'll be building a website from scratch, and then see how we can create a blog. Also creating your own team. If getting teams online irritates you, you might want to create your own team, and then use the WordPress ecosystem for hosting it. Just similar to what we have done in the past on Django, Python Django. Okay, so today we're going to talk about escaping characters. Okay, now what are character escape? Sometimes you might want to insert illegal characters into your code. To do so, we just let's go to our Mo editor. Let's say we have, this was the previous class. Let's say we have um, uh, t to be equal to this a string, a variable. Let's assign some strings to this variable, the variable t, and we say, let's say we're going to use double quote here now. We say the quick um, brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Um, okay. Uh, let's say I want to add, please don't take this serious. Okay. Now we see here that we have a string. We have assigned, assuming, let's say we want to or okay, let me remove this instead, and then let's say we want to put a kind of a quote on the fox. Okay, we want to put a quote on the brown fox, rather. Let's say we want to say brown fox like this. You see that if we try to print this. Let's run this and see what the result will be. So we want to print t. You see um, we have a syntax error. Now the syntax error is as a result of having this string surrounded in a quote and then having another quote. Of course, you see this is part this is a string, it's on its own. Then we'll now have some you know text that are just thrown into a line of code. Of course, it will cause some distraction because this is another string. Assuming we are doing string concatenation, then we'll come here and say uh, instead of the fox, we'll say plus like this, and then if we run this, we have a good result. But now look at what we have here. We say the quick brown fox. So of course the compiler, the interpreter will definitely throw an error because there's a syntax error there, right? Because we are putting a double quote inside a string that is already surrounded with a double quote. So to solve this problem, we have to escape character. So the character we are trying to escape here now is this injected double quotes, these two injected double quote that is injected into a string that is already surrounded by double quotes. So to escape any character in Python, which we are going to be seeing more of how to escape characters in a very short while. To escape character, use backward slash. Okay, so you put the backward slash then before the character you want to escape. So to escape this character, all we need to do is just to introduce a backward slash there, and then also here we'll put a backward slash. So right now the interpreter will not see this. We escape when it gets to this escape character, which is the backward slash here now. It will escape any other thing that comes, the next thing that comes. It will escape the next character that comes just immediately after the backward slash. So it's going to escape this double quotes, and then this which also escape this double quote. So if we save this and run it now, you see we have the quick brown fox. Now we can see that we have in our output, we have the double quotes in our output. Okay, so that's how you escape character in Python. Now there are lot of ways. Sometimes you might encounter, maybe you're having a single quote, and then you want to put you have a single quote, right? And then let's say we have a single quote. You can equally escape a single quote. So how do you escape a single quote? We can also use the backward slash to create a new line. I think we have done that before. Now, for instance, if we come here and then we put n here, okay, you see that from here downward will be on a separate line. So you see, from jumps downward will be on a separate line. So this is how to create a new line in Python. We have done that before. You might also want to escape. This is applicable also to single quote. Let's say we have single quotes here, and then at the end here we also have single quotes. Now, if we introduce another single quote here, and then here another single quote, without escaping those extra injected single quotes, we'll have a syntax error, just like in this case, the previous case. But then we introduce the backward slash here before the single quote that you're injecting, and also another backward slash before the single quotes, the second injected single quotes. If you run this, you have your correct results. Okay, we talked about new line. What about backspace, and also form field? There are other character escape that are available. So I'd like you guys to just do a little research on that, and then I will want to go to talk more about string methods. We've touched a little bit about string methods, building methods that can be used to manipulate or work on strings. Okay. Now I would like to state that all string methods return new values. Okay, they do not change the original strings. So we'll talk more about string methods now. All string methods return a new value and they do not change the original strings. Okay, so let me just use an example to explain what I just mentioned. Let's say, for instance, we've talked about uppercase, right? Uh, upper. We've talked about upper. Uh, if we have a text, let's say T, and it's equal to what we just did, brown, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Okay, now if we want to convert this to uppercase, let me just assign it to a new variable. Okay, so I can say, let me say T upper, TU, or let me just say TU is equal to T dot upper, right? To convert this to upper. All right, so if we print, let's print the two variables. We're going to print T, okay, and then we'll print we're going to print T, and then also I want us to print TU as well, right? Control S to save this, and then let's print it. You see now that T, I decided to use a single print statement to print both T, and then I want to put, what I did here is to escape, to create a new line so I can print this the TU, which is the second variable in a separate line. Okay, so now you can see that the original string is still retains its format, right? It's actually a lowercase normal case string, but the TU, which is now the upper of the T, you can see that everything is capital letter here. So what I'm trying to explain is all string methods returns a new all strings method return a new value, okay, without affecting the original. So let's touch. I'm going to do a little bit rundown on different strings method we have. We have capitalized is one of the strings method. We capitalized is like this. I will not say much about them. But just now, capitalized is actually used to, you know, if you want the very first letter of your if you want the very first letter of your string to be capital letter, you use capitalized. Okay, I will just touch on it. So let's say we have, in this case now, we want, um, let's say this is lowercase, and then let's print T that's capitalize. Okay, Control S to save this. If we run this, you see that the very first letter is being capitalized. Okay, so the capitalized is actually used. One thing you should understand about the capitalized is that it converts only the first letter of the string to uppercase. Every other letter remains lowercase. What about if we have an uppercase here? Will you be able to run through this and see? And of course, you see that it ensures that all other letters are lowercase and it's only the first letter that is uppercase. That means if you have a camel case sentence or string, let's say over is capital, and then I come here and say this T is capital, the lazy L is capital, and the dog D is capital. We capitalized, it will convert every other capital or uppercase letters to lowercase and then capitalize the only first. You can see the result now. Capitalize the only the first letter. Okay, so that's one thing you have to take notes of in capitalize. Now, what about if the first letter is a number? If the first, let's say we have 32 here, okay, and then we try to run this. You see, it actually did not, affect. It actually affected the string, okay, because it sees the number cannot be converted to anything, just take it like that, and then the rest it converts to lowercase. What if this other T was capital, which is the very first, the first letter in the string? You see, it converts every other thing to lowercase. So that is that about capitalized. What about case fold? Um, Case fold, how case fold works is it returns a string where all the characters are lowercase, just like capitalized, or we can say it's similar to lower method, but the case fold method is stronger, more aggressive, meaning that it will convert more characters into lowercase, and we find more matches when comparing two strings, and both are converted using the case fold method. So case fold method is just similar to what we have. Let's say we have, let me remove this, okay, and then we come here and say case fold, which is also a string method. I'm trying to save this, okay, and then we run this. If you run, you see every other thing, all the letters are converted, all the words or characters are converted to lowercase. If we try lower, you still have the same result, right? You have the same result. So case fold is similar to lower, just that it is more aggressive compared to lower. We've talked about capitalize, we talk about case fold. What about, let's talk about center, okay? How center works? The center method will center align the string using a specified character, okay? Let's say, let's take for instance, um, let me say I have something like, we are talking about center now, the method center. Let's say we have banana like this, and then we want to center, we say center, okay. It takes some arguments, let's say 20, and then we want to specify which of the letter we want to be centered, okay. So we have, let's say 0, center, okay. Now let's run this, okay. You can see it's centered the banana. Sorry, let's run this again. Center the banana around this, and then if you count the letters here, this is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20. Okay, so if you have something like 2 and run, you see we only have the banana. What if we have 12? So this and run this, we have three extra letters being introduced, and then the banana included. Everything, if you count them, the total character will be 12. So that's how center works. Okay. Um, what about, let's talk about counts. The counts method returns the number of times a specified value appears in the string. Okay, so let's say we have, in this case, banana now, and then we want to count how many times A appears in banana. So we can say counts, then we specify uh, the character or letter we want to count. So we have A like this. Okay, if we run this, we have 3 banana, right? So 3 is correct. So you use count to specify, to look, search. You can actually use this with regular expression to search for, how many times a particular word or particular letter appears in the text. Okay, so the count method is very powerful. Um, we can actually use a search, from a particular position to another. Let's say we have that quick brown fox we talked about before, or let's say I love apples. I love apples, and then apples or apple are my or apples are my favorite fruits. Okay, as a string. Now we can actually search from a particular position to a particular position. Now we're searching for the word apple like this, and then we want to search from position 10 to position 24. So if you search, you see we have just one. Okay, we have just one. Okay, if you count, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, from here now, if you count down forward, you have just one apple. Okay, so let's say I remove x here. Control S to save this. Still have one. If I remove this other x, you still have one. Okay, so that's um, one powerful thing you can do with the count method. Okay, so we have talked about the count method, we have talked about the center method, we have also talked about the capitalized method. I will just talk a little bit about a few other, and then we are done with this class. There are lots of other string methods out there that you can research and then use it wherever you want. Okay, so we are going to talk about another one called the find method. Now the find method finds the first occurrence of a specified value. Okay, it returns -1 if the value is not found, and of course it will return the index of the value. Let's say we have what we have here now. We're going to use the find method, and then we want to search for the word fruits, right? Let's close this. Will you find it? Yes, it will tell you the index. It will return the index of of uh, of the word we are looking for. Okay, so this is actually at index um, 37. So if we want to check this, I can say print, say t dots. Um, we're looking for 37, right? Let's print this. Starting from the very first letter. So you can see that 37 is F. It will give you the index of the very first letter of what you are looking for. Okay, now if it is not found, if the what you're searching for is not there, what you're finding is not there, it will return -1. So let's say we want to search for uh, banana, right? Banana is not in this. Control S to save this, and then if we run, we have -1. Okay, so index is also very powerful. um, the index method is almost the same as the find method is almost the same as the index method. The only difference is that the index method raises an exception if the value is not found. Unlike the find method will give you a negative value if the value is not found. Now you can actually specify where you want to start from and where you want to end in your search. Okay, so I think with this, I would like to end this class here. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in another class, in another lesson. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys.